Welcome back to Walking in Shadow. It's Jason. It's good to see everybody. All this Mercury retrograde and Venus and all the retrogrades are not just crushing you. They can certainly crush you. But thanks for coming back and being patient with me as usual. I don't want to let multiple weeks go by again, but I've been having a lot of ever since that integration, things have been definitely changing, and I know they are for the better overall, but it's a little wonky on the way, and I'm sure you all understand in your own way. That's just how it goes. So, some of the information I want to share with you today, specifically about the title, Decisions and Delusions. It's not really about me. Sometimes I have to talk about myself, but I realize that's because whereas the subject matter of a lot of videos is a lot to do with, already established things, like things that, like astrology or magical systems or energy or whatever. So it's really easy to talk about those things and how they apply and that make sense to the other people because, everybody is in agreement with that. It does sort of make an interesting segue for what I want to say, but a lot of the information I have is, it may sound a little out there, but that's just how I roll. So hopefully we're good. So to put across the idea of decisions and delusions, the way I want to present it is to imagine yourself in a bubble, okay? This bubble surrounds you in whatever dimensions you like. It can look like whatever you like. I'm not trying to do all that. However, your entire world and everything that you know about is inside that bubble. It's like coated on the inside of the walls of the bubble. So that is all you see is the inside of the bubble. And that bubble is created by your ego and your projections and the agreements that the basic reality agreements that everybody has agreed upon. So we say, okay, the bubble is round and you're in it, that kind of thing. And I'm not saying a bubble in order to try to pop it, because popping it would probably make you insane. Maybe not. I don't know. When I say you, I'm just saying in general. Okay, I'm not saying you personally watch this video. If you do the things that I say or don't say, things will happen to you. It's not that personal. It's just in the same way that I can't talk about, like I say before, like, let me give you an example. After this video, I thought about talking about like some like core shamanism stuff and talk about the elements and talk about journeying and totems and all of that. But, all of that is stuff that through media, books or videos or whatever, experience, family connections, anyway, those are solid topics that some people have some varying degree of knowledge of or whatever. But when I'm talking about my personal experience, my downloads, my whatever, there's no way to translate that to you into your experience. You have to do that. You have to go, well, some of these things make some sense and they apply in this way. Whatever that is, that's what the personalization is coming from, where I'm like, well, your bubble, you are in it. If you don't believe you're in a bubble, fine. I don't care. I'm just trying to explain my point. I say this because our entire let's back it up to third density. Third density, or 3D, as everybody likes to put it, is the what we're in. It's what our entire universe is in. Everything that we know of, visible or invisible, is in. Okay? And it has directions. It has up and down and left and right and forward and back. It has directions, volume, whatever. Even in that, what we perceive as human beings is just a little tiny sliver of the observable frequencies that our eyes or our body can detect. Yes, there are the six senses, other senses that have nothing to do with the temporal and tactile world. However, they still exist. But everything that you can possibly observe or experience in 3D, solid, right, is it's all made of light. Okay? Literally, because it's just the same energy at different vibrational frequencies. Solid, not so much, whatever. So, but it's basically a structure of energy or light or whatever that we can't perceive it unless it is against like a backdrop. And that backdrop is our perception. And that's why I say in the bubble. The reason I say in the bubble is because there is a whole world outside that bubble that you don't know about. Or maybe you've glimpsed, like if there's a little spot in the bubble lining or something. Oh, hey, what was that? Whatever. But it's all just they're called like, what do you want to call it? Like placements, I guess. They're like a lot of older people who watch the channel might be aware of an old thing called the Viewmaster. There's this little thing you held up to your eyes, and it had these little wheels that had little pictures on them, and you put it in there, and it had a little lever over here, and the light outside put the picture in there for you to look at. It's basically like a 80s version of a slide projector combined with the even older stereoscope where the two images would become one image. So you're looking at these and click, 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 click. That's your whole life, okay? As far as third density and the observable frequencies that we can see. Jason, what's any of this have to do with decisions and delusions? That is a great question. Thanks for asking that, Jason. The point of that is I wanted to put that up first so that it is then easier to talk about what I want to talk about, decisions and delusions. I can only talk again about my experience because so many, it's ridiculous. It's bigger than an entire galaxy. If you try to imagine, not just, Earth is in the solar system inside, a cluster inside, all these things of the Milky Way galaxy, a quadrant, whatever. And then let's go look at the Andromeda galaxy. I wonder what's over there. Just more than you can even imagine. But, so that's why I can't, you are your own galaxy and I am my own galaxy. So we can all live in the same universe, but And sometimes we can sort of, meet and commune. But anyway, the point of all this is, the point I just keep going and going and going, is because, one, I'm finally becoming at ease with my attention deficit disorder, as opposed to it just being like my quirky personality, but unmedicated. I just I just forget things, and I just get distracted easily or whatever. And so I try to stay on a point so that I don't just start to just go wherever, like I have done in many videos. But I've noticed that if I accept it rather than just ignore it or push it away, that it becomes integrated much easier, and I can understand when I am going to be, like when I'm setting myself up to get butthurt over something because I can't stay attached to it long enough, and it makes it seem like I don't care. I care a lot. I care about all of you. I care about people, animals a little more than people, but if I know them and have invested in them, then, people, of course. But animals at least don't have agendas for the most part. So that puts them way up above people, because people got agendas. I do too. So the point of that, and the point of that, and the point of that is that talking from my experience, I have always preferred some kind of escapism versus just boots on the ground 3D reality. Now, I've worked so much since I was 15 that I already qualify for my Social Security now, like 20 years earlier, because I've just worked so damn much. I mean, and it's been about a year now where I haven't been working like I used to, and it's very different. But it has given me that time to actually figure out who I am versus just you know, slamming the program and wondering why shit don't work out, because it's not in tune with me. So it's easy. The advice I want to say to try to get to some kind of point that's coherent is that you don't want to hear this part. All right, nobody's into this part. People like positive affirmations. People like things that, like confirmation bias, like, yes, I was right, or yes, that's about me. Yes, that makes sense. So it's all going to fit in my little world. Bubble delusion. Now, when I say you or someone else is delusional, that's not like some dig. I mean, in certain context, it could certainly be a dig. I don't know what, if somebody said, Jason, I'm going to pick you up over my head and twirl you around like a baton, I'd be like, you're delusional. I'm very big. Unless you're some kind of Marvel superhero, you ain't going to be doing that. And I wish you wouldn't anyway, because it's going to hurt. But, that was funny. But, nobody's want to hear about that you're delusional. But what I would say is the important thing that needs to be done, is for each one of you in your own way to, there are parts of ourselves that are either unconscious or subconscious or our shadow or whatever. There are things that we either repress or suppress because we don't want to give them life. Well, to not give them life gives them life, excuse me, but outside of, or inside, whatever, but outside that bubble, those things still are alive. And when other people see you, they are seeing the outside of your bubble, not the inside where you are. Your world contains them, contains everything else. So you make an assumption, oh, well, I'm seeing that. I mean, we all walk through the same doors, so they can all see all of this the same way I can, maybe. But you don't know that. And then on top of that, it's still filtered by your perception from you. So when other people look at you, they're looking at the outside of the bubble. And things that you are suppressing or pushing away, or I don't want to look at that, I don't want to think about that, that's not something, I'll deal with it later or something. It has just been shifted out of your inside of the bubble perception to the outside. And everybody else can see it. Everybody else is aware of it. Everybody else can pick up on it. But you have pushed it away. Or just pushed it out of the bubble. But it's still out there. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to take those parts of yourself that don't fit, that don't gel with others, that go against the grain, to really take those things and do something with them. Either integrate them into yourself, or if you or study them to the point where you see that it is an external thing that somebody has slapped onto your bubble at some point and is not really you, and release it and be done with it. But really release it. Not just be in front of a bunch of people and go, I release it. Yes, yes. I have released it. I am free. I am clean. But yay, good for you. No. Do it by yourself in the dark. No photo. No recollection. Nobody knowing about it. Because people are going to know about it when you don't act that way anymore. Or when you're more genuine. Or when you're whatever. When you go back through all the videos of mine, and I'm always saying be what you are, but a lot of my videos are messages to me as well as you. So yes, we all project into our own bubble, but there are things, everybody has them, and I will never know what they are, because even the bravest of souls who, I'm coming clean and I'm telling the world all about me and everything, and I have nothing to hide. Yeah, you do. There are things about you that you are just not going to be saying to anybody for whatever reason. That's fine. I mean, it's whatever. But how long you want to carry that stuff, you know? Do you really want to evolve to... It's beyond awakening now. Do you want to ascend? Not to another place, but create another place here on Earth. Because we ain't leaving Earth. The only way we leaving Earth is dying, folks. I'm sorry to tell you. There ain't going to be no rapture. There ain't going to be no... you just phase out of existence like Star Trek teleporter because you've reached some place that is so great. The only way to leave this place is to die. And yes, when you die, you return to the collective, to source, where we're all from, but we are in these bodies because we choose to be. We choose to have the human experience. But while you're here, That's it. So I've said it many times before, like there's one of the greatest delusions that people all share for the most part is this, well, one day I'm going to get old and I'm going to die. I'm going to be old and die. Well, I'm sure we all know people who broke that rule. They died way too early, in our opinion. But nevertheless, you can't just go off of the delusion slash assumption that you're going to go all peaceful into bed in like 20, 30 years or 40 or 50 or whenever you think it is. Because all you're doing then is just making that bubble even harder with delusion and with fantasy and escapism by saying, look, I've got time for all that. I've got time to figure it out. I don't know. I might die tomorrow, folks. I hope not, because I feel like I have things to do, but I'm not always in control of that, and neither is anybody else, So I don't want to have regrets about, man, I should, that's what this is. And like where I'm doing the streaming on Twitch, that's even more putting myself out there, which is the total ass opposite of what I have done for a long time. But it's making me grow as a person, which is the point. I mean, it's just, you have, okay, to go to the title, many people have delusions. Nobody will admit it. Even if you admit it in the comments, or admit it to your partner or your child or your mother or father or whoever, or up to the heavens, there's still things inside of you that you do not admit or do not attach to or whatever, but they're still there. And they're always going to be there. And if you don't like them, you're like saying like, I am okay and everything's good, except there's this spot right here on my chest. It's just terrible, and I don't want anybody to look at it. And then you're going to carry yourself different. You're going to make sure it's always covered. You're going to divert people's attention from it rather than be yourself. That thing can be whatever. It can be any whatever it is. No judgment from me. It's just important. Please make the decision about accepting, integrating, living, using your delusions or your facts or whatever you want to call them, the parts about you that you don't like but they still exist. What are you going to do about it? I am very overweight. Anybody who's ever seen me knows I am overweight. Well, let me tell you, this is not a woe is me. I'm just telling you, I was in a horrific abusive relationship that I've mentioned many times. I'm not trying to just bring it up, egg it on. But in the same way, if I'm going to integrate and I'm going to, walk the walk as well as talk the talk, besides losing some hearing and getting a little triggery sometimes when women move too fast around me, fortunately I'm ninjas or whatever. But I got up to the heaviest weight I had ever been in my entire life during that because of just the gaslighting, the abuse, the verbal, emotional, physical abuse. I just emotional eating, and it became a thing, and it was very hard to come out of that. And right now, I've been hovering in the same little 10-pound range for about a month, and I feel okay with that right now because it's cold. I don't like the cold. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to exercise in the house because I live in a trailer, and it'll be like, whoa, a whole damn place will be coming apart. So once it starts to warm up, I'll be able to be more active and continue with the calorie intake that I have now. And when I'm adding physical activity to it, I'm going to continue to come down, but I just accept that for what it is. I don't like just, I mean, I used to, and many of you may just stare in horror if you catch yourself coming out of the shower or something, look in the mirror. But even no matter what you do to put a nice window dressing on that for other people, it's still inside you. And that applies to every other little thing, that anything that you're holding on to, that you're, I'm not talking about like, I don't know, just the deep shit. I know you know what I'm talking about. That stuff needs to be addressed. It needs to be worked through. It either needs to be integrated into your life or it needs to GTFO. You know what I'm saying? That's all there is to it. And I'm not saying, well, look at me, I'm Mr. Success of doing it or something, but I'm doing something. I'm trying, okay? Where are you at? Are you trying? Are you doing it? I don't know. Because I'll tell you, while I'm not going to sit here and just plug away at myself about, oh, check out this and this and this, it's fine. It's whatever. But it would be awesome. Like, I love positive affirmations. It's my love language. I love it. I love hearing it, and I'm sure everybody loves hearing it. You're great. You're this, you're that. Okay, cool. It does make me feel good. But, like, just any kind of feedback of all, like, besides, great job, you're awesome, great message, thank you. I mean, I appreciate those things, but, that's why I did a live stream the other day. A couple people saw it, but it wasn't on long. I was just trying it out, and there's no way to try it out without doing it. So, maybe the next time in between videos we can do a live stream. We'll figure out the time and schedule when we're going to do it. And we can talk about it. We can figure out, hey, what do we want to talk about next? Because I include you. You people watching the video are what makes the channel a channel. Otherwise, it's just me sitting there yamming, which some people like. But, fortunately, one thing you can do is pause it. Where if you were here, you ain't pause me, or I'll just shut up because I detect some kind of irritation. So I'm like, okay, all done. I'm going away now. But anyway, before I just completely go off the rails and into the canyon like some crazy train, I just want to tie it up saying, hey, make the decisions. Work on the stuff in yourself. Let's have more of a community and talking and interacting. Something, Or, I mean, you just get what you get from me. Whatever. Maybe you just like to stare at me and look at me talk. I don't know. But that's about it. I want to say thank you to all my supporters and watchers and viewers. I would ask if you have not subscribed to please do so, because it just helps support the channel, and it's absolutely free. You just click a button. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to do anything, because on your subscriptions, you got a big list of everything you subscribe to. If you don't watch those videos that often, they don't even show up in your feed, but the subscriptions help. So please, if you can do so, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe. And liking the videos helps against algorithms. People think it's corny. This is pretty much for the people who are stuck around the end of the video, so thanks. But I just want to tell you that whole like, share, and subscribe is necessary, because the algorithms just will shut your ass down and keep you in obscurity forever unless there is interaction going on. So please interact if you're able, if you want to, if you give a shit. I mean, I would appreciate it. Tell people, or It's whatever. And on Twitch, my name is Baboon Totem, one word on Twitch. And I'm playing games there. I plan to try some tarot stuff out on there. I plan to just chat and do this kind of stuff on there at some point too. But, it's just another thing. It's where I like to play video games anyway. So why not? Um, so check that out. And I don't know. Just try to absorb it. Maybe you'll have to watch it again. And like, man, he just went off there and I didn't hear that one part. Well, it's a video, so go back and check it out again. But that's it. I'm going to end it there. It's a long video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for your continued interest and support. And I'll see you later. Take it easy.